All right, so welcome. My name is Jessica Riverson. This is a permission to charge interview. I'm interviewing one of my past clients, Kirsten Pullman. Did I say your last name correctly?
Yes.
Okay, good. I always feel like I'm saying after I figured out your first name, Kirsten, right? It took me a long time because it's people that are named Kirsten or Kirsten. And so Kirsten Pullman, and very excited. She's the property to profit coach. And I'm excited to interview her because she's had great success in her business. And it's always good to hear from successful women, business owners from the trenches, like how they did it, what worked, what didn't, what their tips are. So I really want to interview you and ask a lot of questions. And so tell us where you live, where you're coming from.
I'm from Madison, Wisconsin.
Awesome. Okay, so we've got people from all over the world joining, which is really cool. And we're going to get started. This is going to be very conversational. Everyone, Chicago, Wisconsin, we've got people representing. So if you guys like what we're talking about, you can give us props or these little yellow hands. And that tells us that you like the tip that we're sharing or you like the topic. We've got Cape Town. And so what I would love is, as we're going through this conversation, if you have questions, maybe you are also trying to start your coaching or consulting business, or maybe you've been in coaching consulting for a while and you can relate to what we're talking about, or you have some questions, post them in the chat box. And actually, if you have a question, you can put the letter Q and the / sign, then your question. I'm going to show you. Oh, that didn't work. Did I do it wrong? Someone that knows better how to do questions. No, that's not it. How does it go again? Oh, leave a space. Thank you. So you do the letter Q and then a /, then your question. There we go. No, that didn't work. Gracie, how did you do that? For some reason, is it Q? Okay. It's / Q. Okay. Okay, guys, it's / Q and then you post your question. So you'll see when you do that, it'll put question and then that gets flagged to me. If you're not able to do it, just post your question. That's fine. But see that, Kirsten, they're posting with you do that in front of your question.
Okay.
You can actually, it'll flag us that there's a question. So if you have questions about Kirsten's specific niche, she helps. I'm going to let her tell you exactly what she does. But if you have questions about what she does, I'm sure she'll be happy to answer them as well. So Kirsten, why don't you tell us again your title and what you specialize in? Like, who do you work with and what's the result that you help these clients get?
Mm-hmm. I have a coaching and consulting business called Property to Profit. And I help property owners that have secondary homes make more money and work easier in their property business. And this is mainly B&Bs, vacation rentals, retreats, lodges, resorts, any type of vacation type getaway.
Awesome. So people that have that vacation rental property and they want to keep it booked up, they want to have lots of customers and, make money from their property, right? Because that's why they bought it.
Exactly.
So awesome. Great. Well, let's talk about how you and I got connected. I know it was through Facebook originally. Yay for Facebook. Social media is amazing, right? So you get connected with people. And I know you already had one side of your business that was already going. So tell us about that piece of the business that you already had before you and I met.
Sure. The business really was several directory sites for these type of businesses. And we were looking to do more consulting one-on-one and coming up with different programs for our property owners. Mm-hmm. So that's where I hooked up with Jessica to come up with different programs for our consulting offering.
Great. Okay. So tell us, I mean, just so that people know, you came from corporate.
Yes.
Started your own business with these directory sites serving the vacation rental property owners who wanted to be listed online. And you have a business partner. So you had that going. How long ago did you leave your corporate job?
It's been 2 years.
Wow. Okay. And when you left the corporate job, I know that you had in your mind that like, okay, I've got to replace that income.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so what was that like leaving your corporate job and starting off on this endeavor? You've been successful, but did you ever have that fear of like, what if this doesn't work?
Oh, yes, definitely. I did miss the corporate world. I didn't miss having them own my time, but I did miss the camaraderie of, being in the corporate world. I just missed some of the things that I did, but I really needed to be able to make more money and really own my own time is really why I wanted to do my own business.
Yeah.
And I own a property, and I've owned properties for the last 20 years. So I've just taken what I've learned and the many mistakes I went through with renting out a property, and then really found some of my pain points. And that's how I launched the directory sites and then moved into the consulting, just to really help people, really get more reservations, make more money, and work easier, because property business it's a lot of work. I mean, you have a mortgage on your heels, you have other expenses that not necessarily come along with a service type business.
Mm-hmm.
So you're under that type of pressure, plus, dealing with guests and, just the unknowns of, are you going to get a reservation? Can I make these expenses? There could be something that happens, like a pipe that you need to replace. So there's just a lot that goes into it. And I think, people look at the property and remodeling and, setting it all up, but there's a whole other side to it and a whole other mindset that really comes to be with us as a successful property owner.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what I love, is that you took something that you have been doing for, you said 20 years, you've had properties, you've learned how to make your own properties profitable. Mm-hmm. And then you decided, wow, wouldn't that be a great business? Because you looked out and you saw all these other people struggling. So I think it's a good story, because we all have something we're really good at. And it's amazing when we're able to monetize that. Mm-hmm. And share our expertise. Like you said, the pain points, like all the trials and tribulations you went through to get to where you're really an expert at this topic. And now you get to be paid to teach others how to have the success that you've had. So I think that for people that are thinking about, well, how can I get into consulting or coaching? Maybe they've been in the corporate world and they're trying to figure out, how can I monetize my expertise? Well, you see a need, you see a need that's out there, and you see the problems. And if you have the solutions, then you can start to package that expertise. So someone's asked me, how long is this lab? Well, I have about 30 minutes. So we definitely won't go more than another 30 minutes. So it's not going to be super, super long. And if you have to go, you can catch the replay. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so what I want to talk about is just kind of the process we went through, so people can understand what the process looks like when you're launching your coaching or consulting business. So when we started, I think the first step was we were really looking at who was your ideal client. So tell me a little bit about that process as you remember it, of figuring out like what their pain points are. Luckily, you already had these people, around you, so you could connect with them. But what was that process like, figuring out like what they really wanted and what they would buy from you?
Right. Well, I definitely had my target, my avatar, nailed down. Mm-hmm. But I just I had a hurdle of, what I really was going to offer them, and just how to package that and how to sell it. That was kind of my hurdle, and just technology. And I mean, there's too many things I was getting stuck with that I wasn't moving forward.
And I know that you're just like me, where we have all these ideas, we're like, I could have this program or this program or this program. And one of the things that I'm always reminding myself and my clients is just pick one thing. When you may have a lot of ideas, but when you want to start a coaching business, create one core program, like a signature program, and make sure you get proof of concept with that and sell that. And you can tweak it as you found that it needed a little tweaking as you went along. And then once you get proof of concept and you're selling that, then you can start to look at, okay, what's another stream of revenue? What's another stream of revenue? And now, you really have all these, you have so much opportunity, you have so much to offer these clients. One of the most fun things for me is when we came up with your title. So what was that like, figuring out like what to call yourself, and how does it feel being branded now as the Property to Profits coach? Because I love the name, and I want to know how it feels for you to start to become known as that.
Right. Yeah. That is an amazing feeling to really be clear. I mean, I think my biggest hurdle is not having the clarity of what I wanted to offer. And just, there were so many things getting in my way, for sure. But once I got clear on who I was helping and how I was helping them and what value I was bringing to them, then the confidence just shot up. And it kind of, clarity trumps persuasion. So unless I got clear, I wasn't going to sell anybody on anything. So it was really
I gotta write that down. Can someone tweet that out? Clarity trumps persuasion. That is great. And say that again. So if you're not clear,
you can't sell anything. I mean, because they just won't understand. So as soon as I got clear, that's when my confidence just shot up, and I could easily, then my clients could just easily understand what I was trying to do. But not having that clarity,
like sales is if people don't understand the value, like just for those of you that don't know, my story is that when I started my coaching business, I had a different name for my company, and people said, "Oh, that's really cool." It was called the Soulful Solopreneur. It's still the actual legal name, but it was also my brand. And people said, "Oh, that's really cool," but they couldn't say it, and it was a tongue twister, and they couldn't spell it. And it wasn't profitable. People didn't know what they were coming to me for. And once I rebranded with permission to charge, it really clicked for people, like, oh, charging your worth, what to charge, what to price, how to package. And that just made it so much more clear. People would refer to me now, like other coaches would refer clients. So now that you're the property to profit coach, how are the people that were in your database before that didn't really know that you could help them in this way, how are they responding to your title and like the fact that you're positioned as an expert now?
Right. Definitely being really clear and direct on the name. I think too often, people don't want to bring up money as part in their title, or just about like profits, and they want to just be a little more, romanticize something a little bit more, but that name is so clear. And I had to get over that about, talking profit. But now that it's so clear, now it's just, there's kind of a domino effect, because now, people are telling other people, oh, I know this person that, she works with property owners, or, I now get calls from people that have these second homes and want to rent them out. Or I just even got a call from our local library saying, can you do a presentation on Airbnb?
Wow.
So it just, it just starts this whole domino effect and word of mouth. And even I'll have people call me and say, Kirsten, we just went to a vacation rental, and oh my goodness, could they use your help? So being this.
So people are referring to you left and right now that you've like really positioned yourself as the expert. And I want to speak to that because actually I want to speak to two things. One is I want to say that a lot of times people are very afraid to carve out their niche and like call themselves something and get known for one thing, because they feel like they're going to cut off all these other avenues. And certainly this isn't like the only thing that you're good at. I mean, you have a lot of talents, you have a lot of knowledge, but what's happening is now that you've claimed that one thing, other people are coming to you for, even though you don't call yourself, for example, the Airbnb expert, but you're also expert at that. So now people like are coming to you for that, and they're coming in different directions because you've positioned yourself as something. And that's what I found too. Like I position myself as working with coaches and consultants, and that's who I work with. But I mean, this year I've had a real estate agent hire me. I mean, and I've worked with real estate agents before. I've worked with lawyers before. The problem that I solve is universal to a lot of service-based businesses. And even though I only really speak to coaches and consultants, other people still hear about what I'm doing and want to talk with me. And it's the same thing with you, is even though you claim one thing, that's what's getting you noticed. You know, people are taking notice. They have something like, oh, she does this. And when they hear that, even if what they're looking for might be slightly different, they see you as the expert. So they go, well, maybe Kirsten can help me on this other thing, you know. And whether you want to work with people that aren't in your exact target market or not, that's kind of another thing. But it's amazing how that works, where if you just get known for one thing, you know, you don't cut people off. More people actually come to you. And that's I think it's one of those things where I just have to tell people, like, just trust me, you know, just trust me, because it seems counterintuitive. It seems like if you put yourself in, like, you pigeonhole yourself, then like no one's going to know about you. But in fact, like, that's really the thing that you need to do. The other thing I wanted to say is you said that you had concern about calling yourself property to profits coach, and, you know, putting the whole idea of profit in the forefront. That I hear that a lot, where even if it's not someone that's going to teach people how to make money, but that people just have a concern about even talking about money or coming across a certain way. So can you tell us more about what that fear was? Because I think a lot of people could relate to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's just that whole thing of, you know, making more money. When you say it, it just seems really greedy, but it's really, you know, the name of the game. So now in my, you know, part of my tagline is make more money, because really, you know, it could be $500 more a year, but it's something, and something just, you know, like being in corporate America when you're not getting a raise each year, you know, it starts being not as motivational, you know, just to say I have a job, but there's no, you know, goal or anything like that. So I just think make more money. It's direct, but it is what it is. And it's
and for your ideal clients, they want to make more money. They've just bought a house or a lodge, or like they've just spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. You better believe they want to make more money. So that's the thing, is what we worked on is really understanding your ideal clients and what they want, and using those words in your tagline, in your copy, on your website, in the emails that you send. Anytime you do a video or whatever you do, talking about the thing that they want, you know. And that's what they want. They want to make more money with their property. It's a business. That's why they got into it. So we're getting a lot of props. Thank you. So we've got a question. How do you get noticed in the first thing you launch without the expert status? Hey, Lar, that's a really good question. Okay, nobody will believe this blab with 3 figures. Okay. All right. Hey, Nikki, I'm just saying hi to everyone that's coming on. I'm interviewing my client, the property profits coach, Kirsten Pullman, and talking about her success and, you know, everything that she's gone through. And we're about to get to some more of the juicy money stuff too. But I want to answer that question about how do you get noticed in the first place, in the first thing that you launch without the expert status? Well, hey, Danielle, you have to create the expert status. I mean, Kirsten had expert knowledge. I mean, people just didn't know she was the expert. So and I'll let you speak to this too, Kirsten, but the first step is to decide that you are going to position yourself as an expert. I mean, no one else, you're not going to get discovered most of the time. It's not like you're just going to be online and nobody else is going to make you known and like famous for what you do. So you have to first claim it for yourself and say, I have this expertise and I want to be known for this. So she gave herself the title, and we worked on it together in her coaching, but she nailed it. She came up with it. Like, she decided that she would give herself that title. So I think that's the first thing, is to take that on for yourself. And then there's a lot of things you can do to get like credibility with testimonials and PR and, write articles, do videos. I mean, the more you put your message out there, the more that people see you as an expert. If you never open your mouth or write an email or write a post or a tweet, or if you don't ever share it, people aren't going to see you as an expert. So, what did you do, Kirsten? Like, what are the things that you think helped position you as an expert?
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely I had the experience, but it was really putting it all together. So it's just, even there could be somebody doing what I'm doing with not even ever owning a property. If they did the research and just put the program together, it's that step that's, not many other people are going to do. It takes a lot of research and hard work to do all of that and put it in a format that people will understand. So just doing that and researching and learning, it's like ever evolving. So in my field, there's just not many people that are willing to do it. There's a few people that
by the fact that you even packaged your curriculum and material so that it could be presented to someone, that alone puts you as an expert, because people go, wow, she's put together this program.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So if you just did that and just step by step put it together in some understandable form, you could start being the expert in your field.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So Nikki's saying she has a lot of experience with artist retreats. So Nikki, definitely follow Kirsten. Kirsten, you can click on Nikki and follow her as well. If you guys are just joining, Kirsten is known for helping property owners. So if you have a lodge, a retreat center, a house, a place that you rent out as a business to make money, and you want to have more reservations, you want to keep that property booked up, she is the one that coaches you to make sure that you are being profitable. So we're talking today about the process that she went through. We worked together in my 90-day program. And when she started, she said, I would like to do coaching and consulting. I have all this expertise. I have this business where I interact with property owners, and they really need my help. She told me that she saw all the mistakes that they were making, and she could see the pain that they were in, and they need to make more money, and that she knew she could help them. And so when she started, just like all of us, when you start, you're at zero clients, right? And we worked on creating her title as the Property to Profits coach. We worked on taking all of her ideas, because she really has a lot of experience, and narrowing it down into one core program that she could sell. And we wanted to create something she could sell for at least $2,000. I'm sure, the investment will go up as you go along, but we want to create something that was at least $2,000. And one of the things that happened was taking the time to put together the program. That was the bulk of what we did, is writing the sales page, figuring out what's going to be in this program, right? Like, what do I offer people? What if I put it together and nobody wants to buy it, And then there was some target market research, because the first thing, the way that you put it out the first time, we got that feedback that it needed to be tweaked. So the program needed to be tweaked just a little bit. And then people started buying it, right? So tell me, like, the first time you offered this program to a client, were you afraid? Was it like, oh my God, I'm selling my first consulting program? What was that like?
Yes, it was definitely getting in my way. And I just one day just called some of our clients that were on our directory site and just told them about the program and just, I mean, it wasn't orchestrated that well, but in the end, was clear. So then I just started selling the programs. And then from there, then you just start building up the results. Mm-hmm. So then, I had a property owner that literally in a year had 1 reservation. And then after 30 days of working together, she had 8 reservations. So, wow. So it's just, you can see the results, and then that gives you even more confidence. Mm-hmm. And then it even branches off to more things. So now, I'll have people that are renting spaces. So for example, my hairstylist rents a space. So she wants to, instead of paying rent, buy the property. So we're working together on that, property to profit again. I mean, How can she leverage and own the building and not have to pay the rent? So, it's just the whole math behind it and behind it. So it just keeps going on, but it just goes down to the whole property concept. And then even I have realtors now wanting to work with me because they want to get the knowledge, because as they sell properties, they can now leverage that knowledge to say, you could also rent this and make money, use other people's money to pay for the property. So, so it just keeps going and going.
Yeah. I love Kirsten's business because your business itself has so much potential. And I know that that. It's like, I always tell Kirsten, like, you're sitting on a gold, well, you're not sitting on it, you're monetizing it now, but it's like, you've got a gold mine right here, because there's not a lot of people in your industry that are teaching this. And yet there's a lot of people out there, especially with Airbnb. People are buying properties, wanting to make money, and then they're looking for someone like you to help them become profitable. So if you guys are just joining, I'm just sharing, just update you what we're talking about here. So Kirsten and I work together in my 90-day program to go from, I want to have coaching clients to, you're pretty booked up with coaching clients. You told me the other day that now you're on track to make $150K in your consulting side of your business, which is incredible. I know you had a $10,000 week recently. What was that like?
Oh, it was great. I mean, it couldn't have gone better. It just, everything was in place, and I just was on a roll, and just everybody I talked to just wanted in right away. So, it was. Okay. So
I want to highlight that point. You said everyone I talked to wanted in right away. So this is what I want to share with all of you. So Kirsten's been talking about her program, right? And Kirsten took my program. So I want you guys to get some education about creating a program. Yeah, let's give her some props, you guys. Thanks, Ms. Sherazin. So I want you to really think about when you are launching your coaching or consulting business, instead of going by the hour, instead of creating packages where you lump together a bunch of hours and say, well, I can work with you for 10 hours in a package, you want to create a results-oriented program. So that's the first thing that she and I did, is getting clear on her target market and putting together a program that would sell. And you can't do it in a vacuum. If you just sit there and create a program and you think it's the best thing ever and you never test it out, you don't share it with people that potentially could buy it, you don't test it, tweak it, which I know you've been doing, it's not going to sell. So when people just can't wait to get in your program, or a lot of times people will say to me, oh my God, that's exactly what I need. I'm sure people are saying that to you. Oh my God, Kirsten, this is what I've been looking for. This is what I need. That's what you want the response to be when you share your program to someone. If you're not hearing that response, then you're targeting the wrong people, or your program, it's not that your program is crap. It just means that you haven't positioned it correctly. You haven't packaged it correctly. Maybe the copywriting isn't right. Maybe the words that you're using are not in the language of your ideal client. Since you are a property owner, Kirsten, and you've been through this for 20 years, you've been in the trenches. When you speak to them, they're going, oh my God, she's like in my head. She knows exactly how I feel. She knows exactly the problem I have. The questions that she's asking me are so intelligent. She must have the answer. And that's the idea behind creating a program that will sell, is taking the time, doing the proper target market research, and then crafting it in the right way. Then you got to sell it. So let's talk about sales, because I know that we worked on sales a little bit. So, and you use the Soulful Sales script, and I know you've done sales before, but what was the first few calls? What was the challenge? What helped? What worked? What didn't?
Yes. And I only have a few more minutes, Jessica.
Okay.
But I will definitely tell you the biggest thing is saying, if they don't do this program, then what's it going to cost them?
Yeah.
So with property owners, I would say, how many reservations have you gotten in the last month? And if they say one or two, well, if you continue this way, what's it going to cost you? That's thousands of dollars. So if you don't do it, there's $30,000 on the table. But if you invest and you give yourself permission to invest in this program for $2,000, what are you going to gain? So you can do that math. So 30,000 minus 2 is 28,000. So, and then I also tell them, the longer they wait, the more, if they call me in 3 months to do this program, that's almost heartache to me, because they've lost something that we could have started right away.
Right. Yeah. And that is, where is I'll show you guys. Let's see if it's here. And how many more minutes do you have, Kirsten?
Well, my battery is dying, and
Your battery's dying. Okay. So we'll maybe
one more minute.
One more minute, and then we'll let you go. So this is Soulful Sales. Huh?
Oh, I think oh, hello?
Yeah, I'm here. We're here.
Oh, sorry, I have 1 second. So,
bye, Kirsten. Thank you,
everybody.
And I'll stay on, but thank you for being here, Kirsten.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so we're going to take just a few more minutes. I want to cover some of the things that Kirsten was talking about. So in my Soulful Sales script, this one has been filled out. You can see I take a lot of notes when I talk to a client. This step 2 is what Kirsten was just talking about, is really uncovering the cost. Even if you don't help people make more money, you might be a relationship coach or a health coach, understanding the cost, finding out what the problem is costing them, and then what they stand to gain if they no longer have that problem. In the case of Kirsten's business, is extremely effective, because they're looking at dollars being left on the table. And if they would only invest $2,000 in her program to help them increase their business, they stand to gain, could be $30,000, $50,000, because of the type of business that they're in. So I just want to read a couple comments here. What's the program we have? Gazillion programs out there. If you don't invest money, no program will make you money. Okay, tell me, I want to understand that comment a little better, because I didn't totally, I know I don't know if it's a comment or a question. So I want to, so Ms. Sherazin, the way you can hear more about my system is permissiontocharge.com. We can set up a time to talk. You can also go to instantpayraise.com. So Kirsten was one of my private mentoring clients for 90 days. I think after we spent a long time getting everything set up, there's a testimonial video on instantpayraiseprogram.com. And so Kirsten, I took her through the Instant Pay Raise program, but she worked with me privately. For those of you that just want a home study type of version, you can look at that at instantpayraiseprogram.com. It goes into target market research. Then you work on creating and curating a program that will sell. And then I teach you the sales process, give you the sales scripts and all that good stuff. Instantpayraiseprogram.com. That is absolutely it. Looks like you spelled it correctly. Thank you. So that's the program that Kirsten did with me. She worked with me privately. Obviously, that's a higher investment. Or you can jump into the Instant Pay Raise program online, which is at that website, instantpayraiseprogram.com. We have had over 36 members. So once you join that program, you get into the Facebook group, and we've got tons of coaches in there that either have gone through the program or are going through it now. I think Lara's on the line. She's been through are you still here, Lara? Lara's been in the program. Lara is actually someone who coaches actors to success. She gets them into big movies and big shows. And so she's gone through the Instant Pay Raise program as well to reposition her many, many years of expertise as an actress, as an actor. I never know the right way to say that. And she's gone and revamped some of the programs that she's offered. Oh, awesome, Lar. That's so cool. So Lar said she has Major Dodson Sam on Walking Dead at New York premiere tonight. So she's got an actor that's in that. Is Walking Dead a movie or is it a show, Lar? I can't remember. So Lar, and Lar, if you want to come in, I can unlock if you want to be live, but I know you weren't ready for that. So I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you want to post some comments. Yeah, so Lara's got amazing actors that she coaches and teaches. They're you're in Texas, Lara, right? So Lara's also been through the Instant Pay Raise program, and really I want to go through the 3 steps before we hop off this blab. Step 1 is owning your worth. So the first module is about understanding your value in the marketplace and not confusing your own self-esteem and self-worth with the value of your program. So especially if you're a coach or healer, one of those helpingpreneurs, sometimes we're so passionate about helping people that it stands in our way from charging what we're worth and really putting out a program or a service that's where we're getting the value that we're creating for people. So we do that in module 1. I also give you a pretty in-depth target market research assignment because, again, you don't want to create a program in a bubble or in a vacuum, meaning you think it's great, but when you go out to the marketplace to sell that program and you've priced it and you're excited about selling it and people aren't buying it. So usually there's a couple different reasons for that. It could be that you're attracting the wrong target market. Could be that you have a great program, people want to buy it, but you don't have enough lead generation. You're not marketing in the right way. It could be that your target market doesn't want that program. You haven't created a program that will actually sell. So the next couple modules are all about how to create a program that will sell to your ideal clients that you've identified. And then I also go into the Soulful Sales module. So you get the Soulful Sales script. Just like Kirsten was saying, the first couple calls, it was kind of navigating that sales conversation. And now, she had 5 people in a week say, oh my gosh, I want to take your program. She barely had to sell it at all. And she had a 10K week. She's on track to do 150K. She's hot right now because she's created a message and a brand and a program that's so perfectly tailored to her ideal clients. They can't wait to buy the program. So it's really important that you put your program together properly. One of the things that I've been so happy about and grateful for in the last couple of years with my rebranding and just changing things is creating my Instant Pay Raise program. That's now my signature program. And most of the time when I talk to people, they go, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I need, because they don't know how to sell their services. They don't know how to package them correctly. So you want people to say that about your program and your service. You want them to hear about it or see it on your website and go, oh my God, that's exactly what I need. And that does the selling for you. So when you have a results-oriented title, for example, Kirsten is Property to Profits program. If you have a property and it's not profitable, when you hear Property to Profits program, you're already really interested. Or if you're a solopreneur, coach, consultant, that you have a level of expertise, but you're not making the money, and you hear Instant Pay Raise program, your ears are going to perk up and you go, well, I want an instant pay raise. I want to give myself a raise as an entrepreneur. I want to raise my rates and my prices. Okay, I'll answer that in just a second, Evan. So the third step that I go into, like I mentioned, was the sales. So there's a couple modules on the Soulful Sales script. You get that. And then I go into how to create a custom consultation, because you can't sell your program unless you can sell people on the idea of having a consult with you, right? A discovery session consultation. So your offer, your core offer for a discovery session or a consultation has to be extremely compelling. So one quick thing I want to share with all of you is the raiseyourrateschallenge.com. So if you're resonating with what I'm saying about being able to increase your rates and sell your services and command higher fees, check out raiseyourrateschallenge.com. It walks you through 5 days of training, all in email. If it does link to my Facebook group for women entrepreneurs, so you can get in that if you're a women entrepreneur. But the Raise Your Rates Challenge is for everyone. Anyone can access it. It's just that my Facebook group is only accessed for women entrepreneurs, and they said, no, we want to keep it women entrepreneurs. So check out the Raise Your Rates Challenge. That'll get you kind of getting some more information from me, and it'll help you with getting a training on how to raise your rates. The other thing I want to mention, when you do the Instant Pay Raise program, which someone had typed it, Instant Pay Raise Program.com. When you do that particular program, you also get my Money Conversations Made Easy program, which is it's 6 modules going way more in depth on sales, how to get discovery sessions and consults through Facebook, through webinars, all different strategies. So I want to answer this question. What is your marketing method? How much investment do I need to spend on my traffic? That's a really hard question for me to answer. I mean, I could tell you what I spend and what I do, but I don't know your business. 60% of my clients come through Facebook. I am currently running a Facebook ad, but I don't always run ads, so I'm not always spending money to attract clients. I know in Kirsten's case, who was just on, I just interviewed her, she had been building a database. So she had a small list, a few hundred people who were property owners. So when she went to offer her services, she already was connected with these property owners. So one tip for you is when you decide who your ideal clients are, start, even if you haven't totally created your program yet, this is actually even better. Start building your community. Create a Facebook group. Let's say you want to target new moms who have just had a baby. Maybe you're a health coach and you want to specialize in helping moms get their body back. Well, create a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group that's all about, new moms getting their body back. The moms that will join that group are obviously going to be new moms who want to get their body back. So when you go to launch the program, they should ideally really want it. And if you interview them and listen to them and engage with them while you're creating your program, you'll basically be a fly on the wall listening to what their pain points are, what they really want, and then you can craft your program exactly to meet their needs. So that's what we do in the Instant Pay Raise program. It's instantpayraiseprogram.com. And I just wanted to thank, again, Kirsten, who was here and had to go. I'm so glad and I'm so appreciative that she came on live to share with you how she went from 0 clients to having a $10,000 a week in her business, being on track to make $150K. And as she mentioned, I mean, she's getting opportunities left and right, speaking, working with this client, working with that client. She's become, someone that people are going to for Airbnb, all the different platforms that people list their vacation rental properties. She's now being seen as the expert. And you know what that means? That means pretty quick here, she's probably going to raise her rates to work with her privately. And what's going to happen is everyone else is going to funnel into her group programs, and the people that want to work with her privately, they're going to have to pay even more of a premium. And so when you position yourself that way and you start building and developing your company, that's what happens. You get more and more permission to charge higher rates, and then you get to work with the cream of the crop best clients. Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for your comment. I appreciate it. This is not Periscope, let others run. Sarah, I think you just came in. This whole blab was me interviewing my client, and she just had to go. And then a bunch of people were asking me about my program. So I appreciate your comment, but that's kind of what happened before you came in. So anyway, thanks guys. Hope you enjoyed listening to Kirsten and hearing her process. And follow me. I'm doing blabs a few times a week, and I'll try to follow as many of you as I can as well. Appreciate the comments and the honesty. I'm definitely willing to hear your opinions, and I appreciate it. So bye, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll see you all.